Hi there and good Thursday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick coming to you live on KREM 2 Plus with this exclusive weather live stream. Not technically a weather impact alert day for us, but we are going to be tracking some scattered thunderstorms throughout the day today. And now that we have a handful already across northern Washington, just wanted to come to you live before we even got to our KREM 2 News at Noon newscast. So let's start you first of all with a live picture over downtown Spokane at Riverfront Park. Looks like a peaceful day at the moment. A lot of cumulus clouds in the skies here, but actually if you look way off in the distance, there is one that is starting to tower in the background, and that's showing you the energy that is in the atmosphere. And some of those clouds, when they start to tower into those thunderstorm heads, then we'll be tracking obviously more thunderstorms through the day here. And obviously that was looking off towards the north here, where we have our first batch of some scattered thunderstorms. And we're getting actually a handful of alerts. I actually can feel the alerts on my wristwatch here. So let's cover all of these thunderstorms one at a time here. I actually brought the Weather Center a bit closer to the wall. So what we're looking at right now is these first thunderstorms, which started at around 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. The first one was directly over Nespelem, and now these storms are propagating forward. They're basically taking all of their energy and continuing their momentum eastward. So it looks like northeastern Washington is going to get most of the storms at the moment. Let's start over Pend Oreille County, northern Pend Oreille County, and a few lightning strikes near the Iona area, well north of Newport. Not much happening in this region, but a couple stray lightning strikes with just a couple of these downpours that just popped up over some of the mountains. This is the Idaho line here, so this is just getting a bit closer towards even areas like Bonners Ferry, which if you're actually seeing over my other shoulder, and I'll bring this into frame here, one shower cell just popped up even north of Bonners Ferry. These shower cells, as they're getting started today, are very small in nature. I mean, look at how far zoomed in this case over Boundary County. It's not over Bonners Ferry. It's probably just a few miles to the north here, but not a direct hit, but always tricky when it comes to these scattered showers, scattered thunderstorms, to try to pinpoint exactly where these are going to first fire up. So we kind of got the general vibe of all these storms and their forecast. It's just a matter of just tracking them almost minutes at a time. Let's go over to Stevens County now, and the Colville area is getting a bit of rain. No thunder nearby. I don't see anything that is screaming heavy downpour at the moment. But again, at any moment, these clouds could tap into a little bit more energy and start producing much, much heavier rain overall. But it looks like Colville and Kettle Falls both at least getting a bit of rain. Let's continue westward now into Ferry County. Republic got a bit of rain. Nothing over Inchelium at the moment, but in between all of that, literally in a triangle between Inchelium, Republic, and Nespelem, here's a couple thunderstorm cells. Few cloud-to-ground lightning strikes in that region. Looks like it is just over the mountains at the moment, but if this does head eastward, would be heading towards the Inchelium area. And if it, again, continues any farther than that, then we'll be talking about Highway 395 in between Chewelah and Colville. Slow moving storms, though. These are not moving very, very fast. So even if it makes it into Stevens County, that one thunderstorm probably takes a couple hours before it even arrives, if it is able to even hold itself together. Let's continue out towards Nespelem and Grand Coulee. One of these thunderstorm cells, I want to continue to pan southward towards Coulee City. Here we got a cluster of some lightning strikes. This is over Grant County. This would be like northern Grant County here, well north of the interstate. So between Coulee City, just to the south here, quite a bit of some lightning strikes at the moment. Underneath all of that is going to be the heaviest of rainfall. So let's turn the lightning layer off. There's your thunderstorm core. Again, not very large, probably about 2 or 3 miles wide in total, but that is going to be producing some pretty torrential rainfall. The key messaging here is, if at any point today you find yourselves directly underneath these thunderstorm cells, it is going to be absolutely heavy rain. There will be frequent lightning, as you just saw, and the possibility of some smaller hail as well. These thunderstorms are going to produce a little bit more intensity than normal, but not quite to the energy levels of severe thunderstorms. Just, we would call these strong thunderstorms, because they're not going to do damage in their own right, but if you're underneath them, it is going to be quite the storm overall. Now let's pan over central Idaho. This is the second area that we're going to be watching. Looks like areas just north of Grangeville. This all fired up within the last hour here. So between Grangeville, Orofino, Pierce, those locations seeing a few thunderstorms. Also notice even right here over Latah County, 3 thunderstorm cells, or at least enhanced showers at the moment, just popped up within the last hour. None of these producing lightning or thunder just yet, but would be pretty good candidates for such later on. Notice how they're all moving eastward, by the way. In these cases, these are going to move over the backcountry mountains. Not really many people living in this area of the inland northwest. But if we see anything fire up, especially to the west of these highways and interstates, then we're going to see more people affected by this. But one of these cells, especially near Grangeville, certainly producing quite a bit of some lightning strikes at the moment. That is really hugging the Kamiah area. You see this still south of Orofino and still east of Craigmont. So all of these storms producing frequent lightning, certainly heavier rainfall, possibility of small hail as well. And even if you're nearby, you'll notice some of the outflow winds. Those wind gusts could be upwards of 40 miles per hour. So these are all fired up before the noon hour today, and it only is going to continue for the rest of the afternoon. Here's the initial forecast I had even on Up with KREM. Noticing those 2 very specific areas, northeastern Washington, so Ponderay, Stevens, Ferry County, and even getting close to Lincoln and Spokane County, one such area of thunderstorm development. The second is going to be over central Idaho. Most of that activity should go east of Grangeville and over the backcountry, but still those 2 likely areas for thunderstorm development. Here are the risks out of those thunderstorms. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, hail up to a ½ inch in diameter. That is not technically severe weather. That wouldn't be strong enough to create damage. It's not going to knock over trees or power lines. It's not going to be enough to put welts or dents in any parked cars outside. So not quite to those thresholds. But that's still going to be a doozy for anybody that's going to experience hail or high winds of that capacity. You will certainly notice that it'll be quite the thunderstorm. With that being said, the severe weather outlook is at a 0, non-severe for the inland northwest. Not quite enough energy, and these thunderstorms are likely to produce just one life cycle. We would call those single cell thunderstorms. They go up, they really pour down, and then they're pretty much finished and leave the energy for the next storm. If they start to cycle 2 or 3 times, then we start to see some, stronger strength and stronger intensity out of those storms. That's going to be more likely way off to the east. The marginal risk, the level 1 risk, is for Idaho County, but again, this is well east of our population in the inland northwest. That extends out towards Butte, Montana. So not worried about severe damaging thunderstorms, but there's definitely a little bit of strength to play with in terms of the storms that we're seeing. Quick peek at our computer modeling here, just simulating what's going to happen. Not going to be as important as live Doppler radar at any given moment, but it does give us a good estimate of just how things will develop and move along through the day. Again, those 2 cores, northeastern Washington, actually pretty close to Spokane, will be the time frame between now and about 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. Same over central Idaho, as you see just behind me here. So this does continue through that 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock hours. After that, things just clear out. The energy levels go away. All those thunderstorms really just shut off quickly once we get to about sunset tonight. So between now and again, 5 or 6 o'clock is mainly going to be that window for any thunderstorm development overhead. Because, quite simply put, that storm center, the low pressure area containing all this activity, is right overhead. It's right over northeastern Washington right now. So temperature-wise, still cool, much like it was yesterday. High temperatures only in the low 70s for this afternoon. Still good enough for thunderstorm development because of that storm core that's straight overhead. Once that exits, we're right back to a more normal forecast for the rest of the week and weekend ahead. A peek at your 7-day forecast is going to show you a lot more days in the 90s ahead of us, especially for next week. But in the meantime, we are still tracking thunderstorms for the rest of this afternoon. Not severe, but strong enough to produce heavy rain, a bit of hail, and some stronger winds. Right now active over central and northeastern Washington, as well as central Idaho. You can keep watching Doppler radar right here on KREM 2 Plus. That will be live all day long. And I will see you in just a few minutes at the KREM 2 News at Noon. I've been meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Stay safe out there, everyone, and I will see you later.